What is engineering?
Engineering colleges raise concerns about
India's crisis of engineering education.
पहला तनाव होता है कि इंजीनियर बनना ही होगा.
What is engineering?
the quality of engineers being produced.
Indian engineers who used to dream of
दूसरा तनाव होता है कि
What is engineering?
finding a promising job
इंजीनियर बनना ही नहीं.
Is engineering?
get into their final year.
इन तीनों की दुविधाओं,
Engineering.
Engineering
खुशियों
Engineering.
और सपनों
guide.
You can start with the Team Manipal Racing in the back. Oh, is this better? Which is better? Huh? Oh, you're already recording. Oh shit. Okay, so this is the car, the V10. It's the 10th car that we've built here. This will soon be converted into the first electric car of Team Manipal Racing Electric. We build a new car every year. And in this workshop, we build everything on the car by ourselves, except for the tires, the shock absorber, the engine, and a few other minor components. Everything else is built by us in the workshop over here. It's welded by us, the tubes are sourced and welded, and everything is done by us by hand or in the machine shop in the available equipment given by the university. This is where we manufacture the car. This area of the workshop, beyond this, is the service area. So when we do our test runs, come back from any event, the car usually comes into the workshop, stops in about this area where we service the vehicle. These are the awards that we won over the years. We won these 3 awards recently with this vehicle at Pune in 2020. The other awards we've been winning over the years in many different events. So not many teams can say this, but we preserve our legacy. We kind of use it as like physical evidence and how they did, what mistakes they did, what they did better, and how they rectified it. So we have physical evidence of what they have done, and we use this while designing our next cars. And also it is our legacy. We prize this collection a lot. We have all the cars, our first car, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and the 9th is inside. The 10th stands there and the 11th is in the making. We have a picture, they took it in 2019 of all these cars lined up. It's on a page of Our car endures 4 hours of racing and a few short dynamic events. The racing part, it is an endurance race, so your main aim is to last the 4 hours without breakdown and accumulate the most number of laps. Whoever has the most number of laps wins the race. You try to take the car slow, like carefully where you place it, but also quick enough that you manage to put in a lot of laps during these 4 hours. And the event during the race as well, and a lot of these components have come in handy because of that. 4-hour battle between 120 cars for a position, the top position. So a lot of, it's only a 5-kilometer track, so it is a pretty close racing, wheel-to-wheel action, which happens. It's usually out of the 120 cars that do start the race, I think about 80 or 90 only finish. Yeah, so I'm Nitish Madiath, your average engineering Malayali. Before coming here, I truly was not aware of what you can do as an engineer. Like, I mean, I knew that engineers are around. They kind of your phone is a bit of like the masterpiece of engineering, and your anything you say, even your fan, it's the engineering gone into just building a simple rotating thing like that is insane. But it didn't strike me like that. It was I thought it was very mundane field. Everyone gets into it and then gets out of it. And it didn't strike me as being something could help people. It could, I would say, improve efficiency of everything. That's kind of the goal of it. I wasn't much aware of that. And through these years, yeah, I've become quite aware of it. I've come to the understanding of how important it is, and I would say how it affects us in our daily living and how we can make it better. Now, things like machine learning, AI have come into our lives. They've come into these home systems and all of that. They've made us lazier. Yeah, it's like that. Manipal, it's amazing that it's a student town. Okay, that's one thing I absolutely love about it. It's students everywhere. You look anywhere you look, there's no parents, no adulting, if you say, that's going on. It's a free place. You can do. You're at your own, let's say, self-righteous will of what to do, when to do, how to do. It's completely on you, and you have to bear both the consequences and the fruitful outcomes of it. So you're the bearer of both of them. So you decide what to do. There's no one to tell you what to do, how to do it, unless you go and find out. And yeah, that's also part of it. So if you want to know how to do things, you physically have to go and find out and carry on that process. So I think it teaches you how to live independently is a major aspect of it. How to take decisions, important decisions, and at important times, all of that. Actually, 2020, during this lockdown period, I did a project under a professor in the CFD, computational fluid dynamics, CFD realm. I was quite interested by it. We did a project on something called a solar air heater, and its efficiency and performance. So when it did come time for my 8th semester project to choose what to do, I looked at a lot of things. There are a lot of research is going on in a lot of departments here. So then I searched again. I searched a lot, almost 2 weeks or so. Then I came across this small device. It's something called a Vortex Tube. If you supply air of say 40 degrees, so it is possible to extract air of about 60-70 degrees out of one inlet and 5-10 degrees cold air out of the other inlet. So it splits the air stream into a hot stream and a really cold stream, and all of this is done without any active heating, without any active cooling or refrigeration or anything like that. It's just with the pressure that you supply the air with, the compressed air. Just with that, it will bring about this temperature separation in these two streams. It's interesting as to how it does that. It ends the stream one way, but then the stream turns back and comes down the other way on its own. So the main advantage of this Vortex Tube is its pollution-free cooling. Coolants are environmentally polluting. Vortex Tube just use compressed air, which is actually readily available. Research has still been conducted in that area of using vortex tubes in radiators, vortex tubes, and a lot of cooling applications. My first objective is to study it, as to how it happens, why it happens. 2020 in the lockdown in the beginning, watched a lot of, let's say, downloaded some TV series, all that. Everyone's like suddenly, oh shit, vacation mode. Right in the beginning, like for a good month or so, then we're like, no, we're gonna do something with our lives. I did one project in 2020 with the solar air heater. After that took a while. By the time that got over, the semester started, the 7th semester in August. Lockdown was like that. First few months it was like suddenly vacation mode, and then after that you thought, oh shit, you do something with your life. Can't spend it like this. So my simulations took a little longer than what I would have been able to do had I used the lab. I didn't anticipate this, but For me, in my project, to even get a decent result took a long time, almost 2.5 months. I didn't expect this to happen. What my initial plan was find a research paper and then emulate that research paper, like do exactly what that research paper did. So if I get the same results as, or even similar results that what he's getting, then I would, and I have a baseline, but like, okay, this thing works. So then I can then build on that. Was what my idea was. Oh my god, it was so hard. I didn't expect this. Like, honestly, that was quite surprising, I wasn't able to find any one paper and completely get the exact results that he got. I was quite shocked at that. I thought, everyone would be very honest and they'd give all the data. But no, they don't. I was like, okay. And about only, I've read almost 30-40 papers. So this, what I'm doing, it was actually founded in Vortex Tube thing. It was actually, the Vortex Tube was invented in 1930. So the work has been going on since 1930. It's almost been close to being a century long. And still people are doing it. So, still I am doing it.
ஆஸ்திரேலியாவில் டேட்டா சயின்ஸ் இருக்குது, கனடாவில் வந்து சப்ளை செயின் இல்லை ஆப்ரேஷன் ரிசர்ச் இன்ஜினியரிங் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் அப்ளை பண்ணுறேன். இப்போதைக்கு அது முடிக்கும் 6 மாதம் போய் பெங்களூரில் சில் பண்ண போகிறேன். என்னையா படிச்சுட்டு இருக்க கிளச்சியா?
So we compete in a competition called Baha. We make a single-seater off-road electric vehicle, and the virtual events, like the actual building of the car. So we did it through a software called IPG Car Maker, which is given by the event. It's a software you can model your vehicle. You can put this model vehicle through a lot of tracks. We got about 2-3 months to model our vehicle. We had to simulate on the given tracks and get the least amount of time, and then submit your vehicle, and you can code every second of the driver's movement of each brake and throttle. That's also possible. So doing that, you can get a little accuracy on how the car behaves. Apart from that, there's really nothing that stops you from exploring. So that is one big advantage that we have. It's insane what students of our age can come up with, and that's what these competitions want. So Baha SAE India, conducted by SAE India, Society of Automotive Engineers, SAE. Its main sponsor is Mahindra actually. So what Mahindra aims to gain from this is our innovation. I mean, it can be different things. It need not be that you need to have the fastest car. It can be you can have the most cost-effective car. So dynamic events are short events. They hardly last a minute or maybe a minute and a half. They're short tracks, but challenging tracks that determine how good your car is. So there are simple events like acceleration, where there's a 150-foot long straight path, and where the fastest accelerating car wins that. There's another event called Maneuverability. Maneuverability is relatively flat terrain, but it's very twisty. So your car's suspension and steering will be tested there. So how much can it... Off-roading is all about that. It's about making it through rough terrain, and especially very twisty terrain. The hardest event on the car, like the hardest enduring thing on the car, is something called suspension and traction. Here is where the car is put through like real off-roading things like 6-foot drops and jumps and just mad stuff. Last, the suspension traction event we went to, like I was the driver for the car, so they actually stationed an ambulance next to the event. On the last day of the event, there's a main race. It's called the endurance race. It's actually a 4-hour long race where your car has to last. Your engines will start in the first hour and it will be shut off only in the last hour. This year we also started electrical, Team Manipal Racing Electric, the electric division. It's our first year. Unfortunately, during 2021, the whole event was virtual. So the electric team participated in the virtual event for the first time. We came 15th overall. It was a good result for a debutant team, especially in our debut season. And considering that we were unaware and into going into this, so we did well, because now it comes solely on your design and how you put out your numbers, because this simulation is very much the numbers only. So our juniors, hopefully they will make the car, they will make the electric car and take it for that event. So that will 2022 will be the first time the electric car sets foot on the ground and starts running. What I've been able to experience is what I learned in class, I was able to actually put it to, let's say, real life. All the things you learn in, mechanical design and things like that, I was able to use that to design our real life things and actually see it run because of those. So that is an interesting thing. People just wonder, oh no, why will you use this? Why will I ever use this in my life? And okay, I was able to use it. I was able to do it. To use those formulas, and so that is a pretty interesting thing to go through. That is good. I learned a lot of soft skills. To work in a team, and great team. I was very lucky to have a great team.
What if there are crocodiles? What if there are
Great teammates who were able to, we helped each other and everything. Help each other design, help each other, and all other things.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Engineering is long, BTech is long, 4 years long. Do something in 4 years, Initially, I was also a couch potato sitting in the room, not doing anything, as playing some games. And when I joined TMR, I got a little purpose to do something, got a little aim to aim for. The next day, okay, I had a plan, okay, tomorrow I'll get up and I'll do this, I'll do this. There was something I learned, something I would advocate, let's say. Do something in these 4 years that you're doing engineering. It can be anything, there are a lot of groups, clubs around. So you join anything and do something. It need not be a student project like what I have, like what I've done in TMR or something like that, but it's always good to have something. People from first year even start, doing stuff for their future. That is also something you can do along with it. Yeah. That main thing, do something in these 4 years, something that will keep you engaged basically, rather than just sitting in the room and doing nothing. Playing sports. Yeah, I play a lot of sports. Unfortunately, I couldn't do a lot of it because of TMR, but that's okay. I don't regret it. Yeah. My call will cut 90%.